Ah! Hey, She family, what's up? This is Pieces of She podcast. I am your host, Trish, and co host.
Amari.
Yay! Woo! Listen, we are here. We are back for part two. Last week, we did a little talking about sex, and we only got kind of one half of it. And then, like, one half of one half because we got our perspectives. Of course, I'm a Gen X, and Amari is a millennial. Amari phoned a friend and has some backup on her end. My Gen Xers, I don't know if they were watching Sunday Night Football. I don't know what they were doing, but we couldn't get a Gen Xer in to talk about sex. Um, so today we had part two because we had some males that wanted to kind of chime in and give their perspective from a male point of view. Because, of course, men have views on sex, right? They're interested. It's important to them. So, what do you think, Amari? Did you have a hard time getting anybody to talk about sex this week?
I had a very hard time finding some male millennials, be willing to get on and talk about just sex in general, not even their personal sex lives or experiences, just, the concept of sex, how important it is in a relationship, and, even intimacy. And so I had a few people that said they were willing, but after more thought, at least two backed out for
Hmm.
personal reasons. And some of those were whether it be their job or maybe their family wouldn't approve, and maybe just feeling like it was a little too personal. So
Right.
I thought that was something that I think we have to address. Because even last week when it wasn't only women, but um, last week we had a little bit of trouble too, even on your end, finding
Hmm.
someone. And then on my end, I know that she had a lot of questions beforehand, was a little apprehensive. So
Hmm.
I think as for both genders, there's some uncomfortability with the topic.
Got you. Got you.
Or maybe
What?
just speaking about it on a public platform. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Why do you think it's so taboo? I mean, because I think a lot of people were concerned about who was going to watch it or who was going to hear them say whatever they were going to say. Um, and I just feel like we should be able to have an opinion about sex. Now, we're not talking about exactly what goes on in your bedroom. That's your
Mhm.
business. But, in general, we have opinions. Why do you think it's so taboo?
I really don't know. And it had me thinking, because at first I think I asked you, like, what specifically, but I think I'm still open to talk about any subject when it comes to that, because I know it wouldn't have been, my personal experience. It wouldn't have been very, raunchy or tacky or anything like that. But maybe other people think that, and it could go into what we were talking about last week about maybe millennials using sex just more. I kind of took away
Transaction.
transactional, but I think also maybe just more like freely or more like more vulgar, maybe. I don't know. And so maybe that's just like what they thought would carry over into the topic.
Gotcha. Oh, well, listen, we are keeping it grown and
What are your
sexy here.
thoughts?
My thought, I don't know. I think it might even now be in the same category as, how, have you ever heard the saying that you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics at work? I think
Yeah.
now sex is kind of in that category, um, because it is so, I don't know, it's so different. Things are very
But
different
is it?
now. Yes, because you have different dynamics. Men, women, it's so out in the open. Men, women, men, women, women,
Right.
them and the days and all of all the things, and it's fine. But I think a lot of people don't want to talk about all the different aspects of it. But quite honestly, I mean, for our show's sake, now I don't care if somebody calls in and they're same sex. marriage, relationship, whatever, that's fine. But we're kind of talking about men and women right now.
Yeah.
But I do know that you have a guest that is possibly coming in that's in a polyamorous type situation. So that's different.
Yeah, that'll be different. Hopefully, they can join us tonight and we can hear more about it if they're
Yeah, yeah,
willing.
yeah. Some shit done came up on their end. Huh? They don't want to talk about it. They family going
I know.
questions. What?
That'll be something, huh?
Oh, listen, it happens. But listen, let's get into this thing. I'm going to bring on my guest. I do have a male Gen X on my end that has agreed to come on the show to talk about, sex and how important it is from his standpoint or from his point of view or his, life. He is Edward, right? Edward DeMunn, right? I done gave his whole good government name. But he was born in Vegas. He is Rastafari living in Utah. He's got hella kids. He's got family. He's got pit bulls. And he's a private chef. So we're gonna bring him in. He's got a lot of stuff going on. So we're gonna talk to Mr. Taman right now. Let me get him in here. All right. Hey, how are
What's
you?
up? What's up? I'm good. How you feeling?
Good, good, good. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was kind of tough getting people in to talk about this subject. Can you kind of
I'm actually
chime in
surprised to
on?
hear that.
Really? Okay, so tell me about when I first asked you to come on the show and talk about it. You were very like open and was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, no problem." Why do you think that it's taboo to talk about it?
You know what? I don't know if it is taboo, honestly, with the world the way it is right now. You can internet, you can turn on anything and see anything and hear anything. So I don't know if it's really taboo. I just really think that people may just have a hard time maybe expressing, kind of what they feel and what they want to say because it's a kind of a touchy subject. You got to be you don't want to say too much or do too much. So you really got
Right.
to be careful, I guess. But maybe a lot of people just don't want to dig into that side.
You know what? I guess the cancel culture is so big. I think people do get afraid, to say things, afraid that they will get canceled or whatnot. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But listen, let's get into this topic. Sex. You have how
Yes,
many kids?
I have 10 beautiful children.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I think Nick Cannon just passed you up. I think was it number 11 that was born, or was that number 10 that was just born like the other day? That was 10.
Oh, that was 10.
Okay,
Okay.
so you guys are
I
in it.
believe so.
You guys are tied up. You and Nick Cannon. Um, so tell me about like how important is sex to you as a Gen X male?
For me myself, it's extremely important because growing up, I had to learn hard lessons. To me, I thought sex was love. So I'm having a bunch of sex, thinking I'm loving these women, but in reality, I'm not. I'm compensating. Whether
Mm,
daddy issues, whatever it may be, I was kind of compensating with being with multiple women, having multiple children, just really trying to, I guess, kind of shun shun the fatherless, you know, the way I grew up without a father. So in my
mm,
mind, I had a bunch of children and active in all their lives.
got
And
it.
to me, that was just extremely important from that aspect. So to me, sex is extremely important. If you because sex is energy. And energy is just something that's so important. It's not just two bodies rubbing up together. Sex is energy if you're willing to take it there. It's not just a physical thing.
Mhm, mhm. Okay. So how have you come to terms, or have you come to terms with the fact that sex is not synonymous with love? Like it's not the same. Um
Right.
how what did you go through, or what made you come to that realization that they were not the same?
You know what? And the realest thing, and when you talk taboo, this is the realest thing. What really got me to that realization? Therapy.
Hmm.
I went to
Okay.
therapy, and I'm still going to therapy, but that really helped me realize that I was just going around having a bunch of sex, compensating for daddy issues.
Got you. That is really interesting. And thank you for being so transparent and
Yeah.
vulnerable in that, because it is taboo,
Hmm.
unfortunately, in the Black community to talk about therapy,
Right.
especially in men. Black
Hmm.
men don't want
Hmm.
to talk about the fact that, look, I got issues and I need to work on this thing, and somebody is helping
No,
me.
no doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
So I love that. I love that. I love that. So I actually, it was during the pandemic when I really realized that I need to go sit and talk to somebody, talk to
Oh
somebody,
yeah.
because I got a lot of things going on.
Hmm.
So good for you. Now, so you say you're active in all of your kids' lives. Um, are they all there with you? Do they all live with you, or no? Some live with you, some.
You know what? They're a little bit older. I have a daughter in Seattle. I have a son who's in St. Louis. I have another son who's in the same state of Utah, just in another county going to school. So they're all close to me, and they're all in the same location, kind of.
Got you, got you. Okay. And then what do you talk to your kids about? I mean, are you open with talking to your kids about sex, or is it kind of like, okay, when they are ready to get married or when they get in a relationship, then I'll talk to them about that?
No, it's my kids are a little bit older right now, so it's open discussion. They've seen dad, and though they have brothers and sisters from different women, so they kind of seen the road I've traveled. So it was important for me to really have conversations with them about what I learned, especially with my daughters, just with what I learned, and just how it's just so important just for them to that thing's gold. So treat it as so, and just really help them to understand that that's how they need to treat it. And even with my sons too, just helping them understand, kids are beautiful, they're wonderful, but you really have to be careful who you have children with. It's a lifelong commitment, and if you guys fall out or aren't on the same accord at any time, it can be difficult. So I let them know all this, and I keep it real transparent because I don't want them to really travel that road I've traveled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Now you mentioned you know, different children by different women. So
Hmm.
just out of curiosity, how many, so I know you have 10 children. How
Right.
many mothers are there?
4.
Four? Okay. So a
Right.
couple with, I don't want to know how. And so how how is that? Is it important for you guys all to like co-parent together? Is that an easy
Oh,
task?
it's not easy, no. And if I said it was, I'd be lying because
Okay.
there's still emotions involved. There's still pride involved. So you really, we walk easy and we really just try to respect each other's space, but it can be difficult at times. They're smart. They know how to play parents against each other at times. So you just really have to be diligent. And as my mom says, just be nosy and ask a bunch of questions and just always be around.
Right, right, right. And so how is your relationship now? Who are you? Are you married? Do you have are you with someone now? And then that's,
Right.
okay.
Hmm. Yes, I'm not married. I am with someone at the
Okay.
moment. Yep, and I just had a son 2 months ago. So
Good.
yeah, that made number 10.
Do you guys call him DS?
Oh no, no. No, I wish.
I'm
I
being
tried to
funny.
name him Deuce. I tried to name him Deuce, and she wasn't having that either. So
You try to name him Deuce?
yeah, she wasn't having that.
You know what? That's what I call my son.
Do you? I love it. I love
Yeah.
everything about that, but she just wasn't having
Oh. Oh well. Listen, it's a cool ass nickname. I'm just
it.
saying.
It is.
You can still nickname him that. That could be his nickname.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going all in. I wanted to be the whole name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, good, good, good. So just real quick, what one common, I guess, thing um last week when when we had the women on here, the women talked about connection. They talked about sex being very important because it was that connection. And you kind of hit on that when you were saying it's about energy. So,
Hmm.
how important is that connection or is that energy? And then, one, I'll ask that question. That's the first question. And then, two,
Hmm.
do you think that sex is viewed differently from the new people coming up? Let's say the millennial generation. What are your thoughts on that? So first, we'll talk about the connection, then we'll talk about what you think about the millennials.
Okay. Connection in younger, it wasn't that important. But as you get older and you realize that it may not just be sex, it may be a baby coming from the situation. You really just how can I say it? I don't know. You're selective. You're a lot more selective with who you lay down with, and that's been the biggest thing for me.
Gotcha, gotcha. And what do you think about this new generation coming up right now? Them, as far as
Um,
the sex that you see in the music and in the just on social media, all of that.
that's why it's so hard for me to believe that people don't want to talk about it because from this music, I mean, pop, pop, titty, titty, they're not hiding nothing. I mean, it's just give it to me, and I mean, it's raw, and like I say, you on Instagram, and it's raw. Everybody twerking, everybody half-ass naked, so it's hard for me to think that people don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? But I think for millennials, it's more of a they're not looking for that connection. I don't think they're looking for that partner.
Mm,
For millennials right now, it's all about making money. I know some
about the
women who do it
bag.
for money, right? But I also know some guys who like, I'm with this girl. Because she's giving me this, she buying me this. We go out every weekend. She paying for this. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't. Right now it's their life to live. So they just live in life right now until they become my age, and they look back on it and realize, man, I was wilding out.
Right, right, right. Well, look, thank you so much. Amari, did you have any questions for him as a Gen X male? I know you're a millennial, so do you have any questions for him as far as from a millennial standpoint?
Yeah, I was going to follow up on just the importance of, like, if you're in a relationship with someone, and I hear from you that, with time, with age and experience comes, like a value for sex itself. It is important, and you should, look for the connection in it. And when you're with someone, can you talk more about the importance in a relationship? Um, how important that is to you, how important it should be to your partner.
Which part? Which part?
Sex in a relationship with you, your
Oh,
own
yeah.
opinion, and then also, is that important for you to have in your partner? Does it have to be
Okay.
equal? Talk a little bit more about that dynamic in a relationship.
Yes, I would say 100%. It has to be equal. If I have a high sex drive and the woman I'm with doesn't, that causes issues. To me, that forces men to kind of step outside and and do other things. So I think it's really important to find that person who is on your same level, who is really into you as much as you are into them, because that sex thing's a beast, and it can cause a lot of drama in relationships. So I think it's really important to find someone who's on the same accord with you when it comes to sex and how much you want to have it and things of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
agree 1000% on that.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Murray?
No, that was it. That's kind of where it took us last week, was just us coming up and saying, some people in the comments were even saying, like, is it that important? Is just the
Mm-hmm.
actual act of sex the most important thing, or does that have to be the top priority? Because, intimacy could be in different ways. But I definitely would think we walked away being like, whatever it is, it should be equal,
Hmm.
or at least close.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I mentioned that you are a personal chef. Tell us a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about that and where people can contact you. I don't know if it's just where you are in Utah
Mm-hmm.
or if you are mobile, if you fly out. I don't know.
Yes.
Can you let
Yes.
us know a little bit about that?
Okay. Yeah. Humble Kitchen is the name of my business. Website is humblenorthamerica.com. And I'm from Utah to Vegas to California. I've done dinners in all three locations, from intimate two-person dinners to 100-person weddings. Um, and it's just once again, it's an energy thing. And when your energy's nice and you're cooking food, it's like being in your home and having your music on and just cooking a nice meal. And that's what I really enjoy about it. It's a comfort zone. So yeah, Chef Easy Dinners. Check me out on Instagram, Chef Easy 2, and let's make it happen.
Good, good. Now, do you do like weddings and things like that, or
Yes.
yeah?
Yes, I do
Okay.
weddings. I do my best to not do as many weddings, but sometimes you can't beat the price. But I like to do more intimate things, like anniversaries and things of that nature.
Got you. Got you. All right. Now listen, can you cook? Is it like, am I gonna want to go slap my mama?
Man, I don't. Yes, and it's funny you say that because I'm out here in Utah. Let's be real, it's a bunch of white folks. It's a bunch of
Right?
white folks. So I'm out here cooking for a bunch of white folks, and it's
And they
funny to
out
me
there
because they
slapping
taste
their
my
mamas.
food and they slapping their mamas and they loving it. But in my mind, I'm thinking, we using salt, pepper, stuff y'all really, But it's a great experience, and people are latching on and loving it.
Good, good, good. Um, let's see. We have a question. Can you compromise if you like somebody's personality more than you may have originally thought? Okay, so I'm assuming she's asking, can you like if you like their personality, will that like suffice for the sex? Um, I
You, you know, and
you would definitely have
that's
to
a great
clarify. Is
question.
that what she's asking?
No, I think so. I think
Okay,
so.
so what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Once again, that comes with maturity. I think because as you get older, you may get with that person who's not that attractive because they're just really sweet and you like their energy and they make you feel comfortable. But as a younger person, that may not be the move because you don't want to be seen with this person or something like that. So I think it comes with maturity. As you mature, it's not all about looks. It becomes about personality and how the person really makes you feel.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so that comes with age, Miss Gianna. What that comes with age. And then we have another question. What part of Utah are you from? This is from somebody that is from Utah. I'm assuming. Go Utah.
Oh, I love it. St. George, Utah.
St. George. Okay. How far is that drive? Is that like a
That is
five?
That's not
no,
too
that's an
far.
hour and a half away from you guys.
Mhm.
Really?
That
Okay.
is it.
All right. All right. So if I have an event, I'm calling chef here to come and do a
Yeah.
little something something for me. All
Yeah.
right.
So if you
Thank
guys
you
just want to
so
get away
much.
and get out of that Vegas heat for a minute.
For sure. For sure. Definitely. Thanks for the
Yeah,
invitation. Let me know when you're having something so I can come out there and slap somebody.
no doubt.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show and then talking and then also giving your perspective from a Gen X point of view. We really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Negative. Just thank you for the opportunity.
Of course, of course. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bless up.
Good night.
All right, that was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things do come with age. I think you're definitely a different kind of person sexually when you're younger than you are when you're older. It's a different like I think it's quality over quantity maybe when you get older.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
because you got to have more than just the sex. It's got to be the personality. It's got to be the connection. It's got to be all the things. So,
And I was
um,
gonna say for better or for worse,
what do you mean?
because you
Explain.
said it's different when you get sex. You view it differently. So I'm saying like for better or for worse. But based off your answer, I'm guessing go into sex that way versus just this person's hot or.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely better. It's not just like something that's happening. Okay, all right, I'll see you tomorrow type situation. Like this is a real life. Like we're doing this thing, and then it's like an all around happiness thing. You know. I don't
Connection.
know. Connection all the way around. Not just in the bedroom. It's all kind of connections. Um, so I guess this week your millennials is sleep, huh? It's normally my Gen X's.
No, he said he was still coming. I guess he has his own podcast, and
Oh, okay.
if he shows, we'll promote it. If not, no. So he said he's wrapping up his own podcast, so he'll be here.
All
Um,
right. Well, cool.
yeah.
Well, we'll ask some people in the audience. What do you guys think? How important is sex? Is it taboo? Do you guys not like to talk about it? Do you think that like it's kind of rude to talk about sex um in to talk about sex? I mean, is it like
In
talking about
public,
religion?
because I was gonna ask you, and we can wait like as we get questions, if it's
Uh-huh.
something that you openly talk about with like your girlfriends or your friends. I mean,
All the time.
yeah, so do I. Even the people that seem to be more conservative, at least on like a public platform, that weren't open to it, they definitely talk about it with me openly outside of it. So maybe it's just everything being recorded or online and being accessible. That could
Hmm.
just be the element.
Hmm. I guess so. Maybe that's it. Maybe they just don't want to talk about it with everybody. Just kind of talk about it with their small group of trusted friends.
Yeah, but I like what he said, that I think some people don't know how to express it or to like articulate themselves in a way that they feel comfortable or safe, that
Uh-huh.
what they mean will come across as PC.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, like, I don't know. One, you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about. If something is just a little bit too personal, I don't see anything with saying, you know what, I kind of don't want to get into that. And I totally respect that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
All right, here we go. You got to talk about it. I like talking about it with everybody, my friends, my sisters, other flight attendants. She don't give a fuck. She just like talking about it. Uh, Gianna has always been a sexual being from very young. She wanted like 5 kids at one point. I was like, 5 kids? Who in the hell want 5 kids? But I digress. I think she might have changed her mind in this
Yeah.
time frame.
I don't know. My friends, we talk about it, especially because I think it changes even, yes, age, but even just like status, like when you're single versus when you're dating someone or when you get married. Like I have single friends, and then I also have some married friends who it's like now that's the conversation. It's like, did it change after marriage? Like, what is like marriage? So it's like those things, I think you have to talk about it because a lot of times, and I tell my friends that I'm like, you're just like, am I the only one going through this? And it's like, once you talk to your friends, you're like, okay, no, we all, this is universal. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah, yeah.
healthy.
Well, let me ask you, did it change for you after marriage? Or is it just the same? Like same stuff?
Um, I would say same for me, but I've heard from a lot of my married friends or from a
Hmm.
friend who knows married
Hmm.
friends that it changed.
Really? Like for the better or no?
Yeah,
Like what's different? Like there is
not
not happening
always.
as much? Like not happening
Yeah,
as much
not
or
happening
what?
as much, or maybe just like as much. I think maybe just differently, or I've know some like more maybe experimental. Like I hear a lot of stuff.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Well, look, you got a couple of millennials that just popped in. So
Yay.
this is actually a couple, which is great. So we're going to talk about sex with them. This is this all you this you Amari. To see
Oh, this is
how
exciting.
important sex is to this millennial couple. So wait.
There's a comment before we,
Okay, go ahead. Let's do the comment.
let's see.
Depends on the audience. With your friends, family, people you feel open. Oh, no, you got another one too. Lots of people are not comfy talking out about it because many people are not. Uh, I don't know. Period. Oh, many people aren't comfy talking about sex. Period. And B, they worry about judgment. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, look,
So
everybody got hit some
one,
kind
many
of way.
people, right, right. Well, we
So,
got some millennials, and we know it's
yay!
happening.
Hold on. I'm trying to
All right,
change our
let's see. Let's get the couple. Hey,
Zach
What's
and
up?
Joanna.
What's up? What's up?
what's up? So, well, let's jump right in.
Might as
Are you
well.
guys answering together? Are we getting the male perspective? What do we? Are we getting both?
You can get the male perspective until I need to say something.
No, we
Oh no. Well, hi Zach.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good. How
Good.
are
How
you?
are you?
I'm a little rough looking. I'm fresh out of kickboxing straight into this.
That's okay. We've seen worse on here.
That word.
All right, so let's jump in. So we want to hear from you. How important is sex in a relationship? From the male perspective.
Extremely important. Not just I would say it's very important, but not just from like, I don't know. It's complicated, but it's got to be intimate, frequency, things like that. There has to be a lot of compatibility with that, kind of like through all those spectrums.
Okay, so yes, sex is important, but also the intimacy, which I'm glad you brought up because, when I think of sex and the importance of it, I always just think intimacy. And so, can you explain a little more about what intimacy means to you?
I mean, I think it probably varies from like, let's say, session to session. Like, kind of like what kind of wavelength are we on today? Is it romantic? Is it more for lack of a better term, superficial? Is it like, how are you feeling? How am I feeling? Are we on the same wavelength? Is the, you know what I mean? We got to kind of match that. So like, to me, intimacy kind of varies, but at the end of the day, it's a connection, I guess.
Okay.
I like that.
Sex adds to that, or is sex automatically part of that?
Hold on, I think I broke up for a little bit. What'd you say?
Are you saying like the intimacy has to be there, and then did I? Okay. I was saying the intimacy, so it sounds like that's like connection or being on the same page. And so does sex automatically come with that? Does that lead to sex? Like, talk to me about the connection between the two.
Well, I guess I'm kind of looking at it from more of like a relationship standpoint. So we've kind of already passed the barriers of like getting to know each other, and our, like, I guess our intimacy level is already at a deeper point at that level. But I mean, I feel like the intimacy probably has to come first, because like you can't just approach the situation on two different wavelengths and then expect for, enjoyable time for everyone to take place.
I don't know. I have partaken in sex when we were not on the same wavelength, and afterwards we kind of got on the same wavelength. I don't know. Have you guys experienced that?
Like a little makeup sex type thing?
No, like we're pissed off, angry, mad, like, but that's what's happening. And then after, it's like, all right, no, I'm weird, but
No.
I don't think you're weird. I just think
not weird, but I think that's what we talked about last week. Yeah, it's kind of like, if we're not vibing, if we're into it, if it's not there like that in the moment, then that's not gonna come easy for me.
Yeah, and that's fair. I'll speak for me and us. I guess like that situation doesn't really arise around here.
Yeah. All right.
I have a question though.
Uh-oh.
It's a question for you for sure. Have you ever had makeup sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking to?
Yeah, I'm talking to Zach. To Zach.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm pretty sure it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's not. Is it fine for me to ask? Yeah, exactly. So, all right, is that what you're talking about as well, though, Trish? Like, makeup sex has a different. It's got a different aspect to it, and I understand like being on two separate pages. Like, y'all are mad at each other, but y'all are also both mad, and so that has a passion behind it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've had both. I've had both the makeup to where, we were mad at each other, and then now we're ready to, like, okay, you know what, this is stupid. We talk about it, and then, okay, it happens. But I've also had it where I'm pissed off, I'm mad, but I'm freaking horny right now. So this is what's happening, and then we'll talk about
That is not makeup
later.
sex.
I didn't say it was.
The first one was. The second one is angry sex, and then as a residual.
I've had both makeup and angry sex. Okay, it's angry sex. I've had it before. And so if you guys have never had it before, it's kind of fun.
I believe that, period. I'm sure there's passion behind it. There's a little roughness that goes into it. That's probably some... I might mess around and punch him in the chest after this and see what happens. Get our own questions like that.
Listen, this is not y'all own personal thing,
right?
We got
thank you guys
therapy
for
real
coming
quick.
on. Trish, did you have any more questions for them?
No, I do not really want to hear about it.
That's right. He was like, I'm not sure I want to talk to your sister about
that part.
Listen, I love talking about it. G is my baby.
And we're supposed to be keeping it general.
I got four of them, and she's the baby. So yeah. But G and I have talked about openly about a lot of things. So
for sure.
I'm just really being funny. I know y'all be getting it in, Zach. Thank y'all though for coming on. We
Yeah,
love
thanks for
y'all.
coming
Thank you so much for
on.
giving your perspective, Zach. We really
For
appreciate it.
sure.
It's really great to hear that millennial males do want that connection as well. So
Facts.
love it.
I appreciate y'all.
Nice. Thanks, you guys. Good
You're
night. Team
welcome.
Millennial.
Woo-hoo!
All right. Y'all won again.
I know, and we got another person.
And you got another one. So you can do this introduction. I don't know your next guest.
All right. So we have Vari Two Turn, and he is a cousin of a cousin. And I heard that he would be a really interesting and good guest for this topic. And so I'm looking forward to, meeting him, hearing more of his story, and getting some perspective from another male millennial. So we will have him come in.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
We can hear you.
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good. So we'll jump in, but maybe just, kind of talking a little bit about yourself, maybe why your cousin, thought that you would be a good person to talk about the importance of sex.
Well, did she give you a rundown on my relationship at the moment?
A little bit, but can you break it down for us in your words?
So right now I am married, but I'm in a polyamorous relationship.
Okay.
So we do have a girlfriend. But I think the premise of what we're talking about right now is, how important sex is to the relationship and everything like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to my relationship, I have found out that it's gotten a lot more important over the time. I've been married for 8 years, and we just recently got a girlfriend in December. So she's been with us for about 10 months now, 9 months.
Yeah.
But it's just been a journey going through that, trying to really figure some things out and having the sex drive for both of them. Because that was one thing that I didn't know that was going to happen.
Okay.
It got higher. It got a lot higher. Mine's kind of stayed the same. Theirs shot through the roof.
Okay. All right. So, I have so many questions.
Ask away. Ask
I'm sitting up
anything you
here
want.
writing them down.
I'm
Like,
an
hold
open
on.
book. You
Okay, you start because all my questions are like going out the window.
Well, okay. So is this your first? Okay, you've been married 8 years.
Yes.
Had you gone into your marriage with that in mind, or is this something that kind of evolved to where you guys kind of was like, you know what, it would be nice to, like, how did this even come up? And is this your first girlfriend too?
To have this conversation with? No, it's not. Before I was with my wife, I actually told her I am into women who are into women. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, or make anybody feel uncomfortable. I'm just letting you know from jump. Like, that's some of the shit that I like. It may be a kink or something, I don't know, but I like that. So she was like, okay, you don't even have to really tell me that because I already like women. So I'm like, all right, cool, we on the same page. But it didn't happen immediately. Like I said, we've been married 8 years. We just got a girlfriend. We were trying some things earlier, but it didn't really work out. This is what we have found to work because we've communicated through it. We joined a group chat immediately. There was a lot of transparency. And that's what made it easier, was the communication part. So me talking to her and allowing her to express her feelings and let me know that, yo, yes, you are a man and I love you, but I do have these subsequent feelings for women. So it's like, okay, you like women, I like women. I mean, I'm here. What's that? So that's kind of how that began.
But was it always a conversation? You said it was before you guys got together, but from the time that you got married, you said you guys tried other things. So this was always something that you guys eventually wanted to build to?
Yeah, it was always in the back of our minds. like this was going to be something that we definitely were going to dabble in, dip in. It's crazy because it didn't happen until we had kids.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
so before, when we was free and able to do this, it wasn't really a thought. But as in growing together, we're realizing that village quote, takes a village to raise a child, is real. And we've been finding a lot of help with our girlfriend, and she's been a tremendous addition to our family.
Now, does she have any kids?
Two. We have two. She has two.
Okay. And are you guys all like in one household now, or?
Not yet. We're working towards it, but we see each other damn near every day.
Okay. And then what do the kids think? Like, are you Uncle so and so to the kids, or you? What?
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not. Gonna do
Okay. I don't. let me know how
It's
how that
just
works.
that is confusing to the kids, because if I'm
Okay.
Uncle so and so right now, and then a year later or two we married, or we doing something else, well, I thought this was Uncle Vari. Like, why are you? You know, so we're not about to do that.
Okay.
But right now we're friends.
Gotcha.
You know, we're gonna come over. We're gonna see your friends. We have kids around the same age. Y'all can hang out, so it doesn't really seem like too much. And we don't do too much in front of the kids anyway, so we kind of plan that out accordingly.
Okay. My question was, when I hear the term girlfriend, to me that's more connection. And now you're saying like the kids are meeting, and so it sounds like a family dynamic. But going back to the topic of sex, did it start out, or was your thought behind it always just like a sexual thing, like you're attracted to women and you want to just have sex with multiple women and your wife? Or was it like we really want an additional connection?
At first, probably it was between the both of us, it was definitely let's try to have fun. Let's see what we're gonna get. Let's see what happens. Never intending on 9 months later being with the same girl. You know what I'm saying? She's over the house every day. We talk every day. But once you get that communication aspect going, it's kind of hard to step away from it. Now we got loyalty. Now we got communication. It's a real relationship between all three of us. So that's where the sex, because the sex was introduced early. Like, we had sex the first time we met each other. You know what I mean? So then it was like, from there, yeah, we had to keep this going because it was good.
Okay. And you said that, right? The sex is important. And so, I mean, just a side question, does it have to be the three of you? Can you guys have relationships on your own? Okay.
Well, not relation. Between the three of us, we could do that by ourselves. Like, if they want to go out and do some shit, like me and my girlfriend, we just went to the movies yesterday. And if we choose to have sex, we can. You know what I mean? Obviously, I have sex with my wife by myself, but yeah, if my girl wants to be with my wife, she can be with my wife. If she wants to be with me, she can be with me.
Okay.
Has there ever been any type of jealousy type situations? Yeah.
Always arises. Always. No matter what the woman says, I'm comfortable. I love you. I love her. This, and this. It's always in the back of their mind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a lot of reassurance at first. Now, not too much. They both understand. My wife is a lot.
Your wife is a lot what?
She's a lot more comfortable than she was at the beginning. Because at the beginning it was, no, I don't really want you to have sex by yourselves, because I don't want you to get that attachment with her. But then once she started getting the attachment, how can you stop me from it?
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be in this together, so eventually she's come to an understanding, and now we're all good.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
So you've been very open with us about your situation, and I really respect that, because, and sorry not to get off, but I was just listening to a podcast where one of Nick Cannon's baby mothers was talking, and I felt like she was not being as honest and transparent as you are about, jealousy arises. It's a constant communication. I feel like it gets glamorized. And although it may be a good situation, it sounds like you're saying it takes constant work, which you would imagine. And so I respect the honesty 1,000,000%. My question was, as you're being open with us, are you open with anyone? If anyone was to come up and ask you or see you guys out, are you that free about talking about it?
Yeah, I mean, I do my own podcast, so I definitely don't stray away from it. I feel like my listeners know that, my situation and stuff like that. I don't shy away from it. Anytime I talk about the ladies, I say my ladies, my girls. I make it plural. I let them know that there's more than one. Or I say my girlfriend, or I'll say my wife. So, and I try to not mix it up because I know that gets confusing. But yeah, all my friends, they know. I don't try to stray away from it, because at the end of the day, I asked her as well, how does that feel? It feels like we're hiding you. And she was like, yeah, like I want to be able to say this is my man or this is my girlfriend and not have to feel no type of shame about it. So
yeah.
Is she open to having other relationships, or no? This is the understanding. This is our thing. We keep this where it's at.
Nah, this is it. She understands that this is where it's going to be at. Because if we're going to try to build a family or build anything, it's muddying up the waters if you now bring more outside. Like, yes, me and my wife, we are building what we are building. We built that. And yeah, we were looking for somebody. This person came through and at the perfect time. So it's like, don't mess that up. That's our whole thing is we finally found a situation where all three of us are happy now. You're not alone. You're not being a single mother raising these kids by yourself, and you have two more people over here helping you. And from a financial standpoint, people need to understand 3 incomes is way better than 2.
Right.
So we about to move, get a bigger house. I'm not worried about anything. They're not really worried about anything. So I feel like this whole experience has been enlightening and fun. To be honest, it's been fun.
Good. I do want to talk about the sex drive. You said that you thought you didn't think that. Okay, I don't know what you said earlier. You said something about the sex drive and like you thought it was going to be you like having to
go crazy. I don't have to go crazy.
Okay, so can you explain that? So it's not, you don't have as much sex, or
no? What? Well, I have. It's double. It's always double. If I'm fucking one or having sex with one, the next day, because it feels like a makeup thing. It feels like, oh man, I didn't please you. The other day, my wife was out of town. So my girlfriend, she came over and stayed over. We had sex all night. My wife comes back into town. I don't want to have sex with my wife because she's back in the town. I haven't seen her in a day. So I have sex with my wife, but my girlfriend is still there. I don't have sex with my girlfriend. So I've been finding where we have to have communication, or it doesn't have to always be a trade-off, but I'm still a human being and I'll be tired as hell. So it's like, if we had sex 3 times yesterday, I don't think you need it today. Let's let her have some. And then we can, move accordingly, because it's like, I'm just trying to share the wealth. I don't want to be too damn tired. I still got work.
That's funny. So are they together and you're not included in that? How do you feel about that?
No type of way. Because I go to work and I need time to really be to myself, and that's so when they're able to get together, they want to do some things, by all means, go ahead, because I'm out the house already. So it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, if it works for y'all, I say more power to y'all. 3 incomes better than 1. You got 3 people cleaning up. You got 3 people helping these kids with their homework.
I feel like we got to have you back on for a few episodes.
We can definitely talk, because listen, I'm not ashamed of it. My girlfriend she'll definitely come on. I'm pretty sure I can get my wife to come on, but we'll sit down, we'll talk. This is something that we have been wanting to do, is definitely come out, because at the end of the day, I feel like in the time that we're in, polygamy, polyamory, all of this stuff is now coming out, and people are actually learning about it, and it's not just, oh, we're having threesomes. You know,
Mhm.
this is a commitment. This is something that's real, and we love each other. So I want people to understand that it's not just the sex. The sex be cool, trust. I'm having fun, but I am tired. So I allow them to do what they need to do, and everybody's happy.
All right. All right. Now, how do you guys deal with that? With like, okay, we kind of talked about makeup sex. We talked about it before you came on,
Hmm.
about like when you're mad. Like, have you ever been like in an argument with one, but you're cool with the other one?
All
Yeah, and
the time.
then
All the time.
I just think that that would get a little messy with
It
like,
would,
yeah,
but the group chat works. If you have the group chat to where, because I don't want to express my frustrations to just one,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
feel like I'm talking behind somebody else's back, and then they're feeling weird, or they're feeling like we're tag teaming. You know what I mean? So what I do is I express all my frustrations out in the group chat, so they both know, regardless of who said it, you know how I feel. So now we got that communication aspect out the way. It's a little bit easier.
Okay.
So I feel like the communication is really the biggest piece. I have a couple friends that are polyamorous, but they're like polydom, and they are like, they do what they want to do. They have multiple women and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem like motherfuckers is sorry like that. So I try to keep it to where I can have my ladies happy, I am happy, and we could just keep moving accordingly.
Okay, we're gonna have to have you back because I don't know what polydom means,
And it
and
sounds
Understand?
like I know. I yeah. I a few topics have come up that so hold on, I was gonna say because you said the group chat, and it sounds like a lot of things you guys are doing now you're saying are working, but is this trial and error? Um, that like maybe something happened and so now you say, okay, let's implement the group chat.
Yes. So before we actually got, so like 20, I say 20, it was like 2020, I think, towards the end of it. Um, we were trying to do like we were both unhappy, and we didn't know what we wanted to do. And there was this girl that was showing interest in me, and my wife knew about it, and she was like, just talk to her, just see what's up. Like, all right, cool, let me see what's up. So I would talk to her, she would be telling me things, and then my wife would ask, yo, what's going on, what's going on? I would tell her, I would show her the messages, I would show her everything that's going on, but it still wasn't enough. It still felt like I was hiding something, or she felt like I was hiding something. So at that point, we kind of cut it off with that girl. She was texting her by herself, I was texting her by myself, and it just wasn't the same. But once we did the group chat thing, everything started to come together and meld, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit more comfortable. She wasn't comfortable with me just talking.
Okay. And do you guys have your own messages on the side or everything in the group chat?
No, we have our own messages on the side.
Okay.
But it will voice some frustrations, but at the end of the day, we get back into the group chat to finish what we were upset about, to finish talking about it. Because if we don't do that, then we're just sitting here really talking about each other, and that's not healthy. That's
mhm,
not a healthy
mhm,
relationship.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, this is to be continued.
Yeah.
Yes, let's make it
So,
happen.
because so this was part two off of last week. People wanted to know the male point of view. Now we're gonna have a spin-off. Not next week. Next
Right.
week we're gonna talk about generational wealth. We are definitely talking about generational wealth next week. But we are having you back because there is so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
I feel it too. I know. I've been waiting for somebody to ask real questions. Seems like everybody just asks surface questions, or they just really want to know how the sex is, and that's
Oh
really
yeah.
it.
And that
So
was going to be my question, like how, and you answered it already though, just how does it feel or what's your response when people just say like, oh, he just wants to, have more sex or oh, it's
I laugh
just
at them.
it's just sex.
I laugh at them because it's not. If it was just sex, why would I'm not getting to know everybody's kids.
Right.
I like my kids, cool. But everybody else's kids is not, you know what I'm saying? If it was just sex, it would have been left at that. I wouldn't have wanted to know their kids, their names, none of that. But I love her kids. I love who she is. So it's a lot more that goes into this. We go out to eat all the time. We're actually going on dates. We are forming a relationship. So
Got you.
sex is the last thing on my damn mind, because at the beginning of the relationship, it's the honeymoon phase. Like, we're 9 months in now, and I feel like that phase is starting to dwindle down because I am not in this, I need to fuck every day. I need to be with you every day. I need to be up under you anymore. It's like now I'm getting into the mode where you're on the same level as, not the same level as my wife, but you are getting there to the point where it's like, all right, we're cool. We don't need to be up under each other. I'm going to go work. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to see you when I see you. So that's where I've gotten at with them.
Okay. Well, very interesting. When you come back on, I want to hear about, like, her children's father. How does he feel about, like, I want to go deep. So
I want to hear about the trust piece, because I feel like when you give men, openness and freedom, they don't know how to handle it. So they ask for freedom, but then I feel like they really just end up then, not really taking it seriously when they do. And so I would love to follow up with a discussion about that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Just let me know when, and I'll be available.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very open, very transparent. Thank you.
Of course. Let me know where I can subscribe at so I can have your YouTube and everything.
Amari, can you text him
okay.
her link? Okay. She'll go ahead and text you. But
I'm
definitely gonna do all of our little things shortly.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
All right. Ooh, Mari, that was a little spicy. I like it though.
Me too. Girl, I got so many questions. Crazy.
Yeah,
I love it though.
When he comes
open.
back, I got questions. Yeah, I like the fact that he was very, very open about it. As I get older, I guess I understand something like that. I'll say that. But yes,
and I think you would when you get older, when you get and when you're comfortable with your partner, things like that, like I could see it. But those would be my questions, right? Like, you guys been married for X amount of years, or like if he's saying like the sex phase is kind of like dwindling off, which most relationships it does, right? It's not only about that once you're with someone. So even that part, like, what do they foresee? He talked about like possibly getting married. Like, I want to hear all about that.
Exactly. All right. Well, listen, our hour is up. That was interesting. I'm glad we had a part 2. Next week, you guys, we will be talking about financial. What are we talking about?
Literacy, generational wealth in the Black community
wealth,
specifically.
Yeah, we'll have Miss Robbie on. She is a financial advisor type.
Nice.
She does a lot of different things, insurance and everything. So we'll have her come on, and we kind of have our questions and stuff ready for her. So have your papers and pens ready. Amari, where can people reach you?
Reach me on Instagram at allthingsbalanced_W Amari. You can email me ajmw.pagg@gmail.com. You can call me, send me a text, 794-9774 for resources, advice, just a listening ear.
All right. And I like the fact that Damon was saying that he went to counseling, to get to the point where he was. I thought that was amazing. And of course, me, you guys can follow me at pieces.of.she on Instagram, on Twitter at piecesofshe1. And then also email. If you want to email me, any questions that you might have had that you might have been a little too embarrassed about asking me, or if you want to be on the show.
Send topics. Yeah.
Yes. Again, thank you so much. Our guests were amazing. Thank you, Amari. I love co-hosting with you. Season 9, I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
All
Very
right,
fun.
y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
All right.
Y'all,
Have a good
until
week,
next time.
everybody. Please.
Yes.
Bye.